Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be discussing with you on coping. If you remember in the last video, I discussed on stress and adaptation, and this is part of the same topic. So I'm Rima Stanley, tutor at Triple M College of Nursing. At the end of this video, you will be able to understand what is meaning of coping, the type of coping strategies, adaptive coping techniques, and maladaptive coping, as well as strategies that temporarily decreases the effect of anxiety. Now let us see what is coping. So this is the conscious effort to solve personal and interpersonal problems and also seeking to master or minimize or tolerate stress or conflict. So coping in general means all the ways and means which a person uses to manage stress is called as coping. So now let us see what is coping according to Richard Lazarus and Susan Folkman. So this is according to them, they have scientifically defined coping mechanism as a sum of cognitive and behavioral efforts which are constantly changing that aim to handle particular demands, whether internal or external, that are viewed as taxing or demanding. So according to their definition, they say coping is the use of both mental as well as behavioral activities in order to manage problems and stress. So coping is an activity that we do to seek and apply solutions to stressful situations or problems that emerge because of our stresses. Now, types of coping strategies can be categorized into appraisal focus strategies or problem focus strategies and emotion focus strategies. So let us see what is appraisal focus strategies. Um, so these are the coping mechanism which involves a change of mindset or a revision of thoughts. And one of the most common example of coping mechanism under this category is denial. Denial means one person refuses to accept the reality or the truth. Now let us see what is problem-focused strategy. So these are those that modify the behavior of the person. So it directs towards reducing or eliminating a stressor. And adaptive behavioral people uh, using problem-focused strategies try to deal with the cause of their problem. They do this by finding out information on the problem and also learning new skills to manage problems. So problem-focused coping is aimed at changing or eliminating the source of the stresses. And the three problem-focused coping strategies, which was identified by Folkman and Lazarus, are such as taking control, information seeking, and evaluating the pros and cons of the solutions. Now let us see emotional focused strategies. So the emotion focused strategies include alteration of one's emotions to tolerate or eliminate the stress. Example include distraction, meditations, and relaxation technique. So the emotional focused coping is oriented towards managing the emotion that accompany the perception of stress. So this mechanism can be applied through a variety of ways, such as seeking social support, reappraising the stresses in a positive light, accepting responsibility, using avoidance, exercising self-control, as well as distancing. So the five emotion-focused strategies are disclaiming, escape avoidance, accepting responsibility, exercising self-control, as well as positive reappraisal. Well, which type is more useful? Typically, people use a mixture of all three types of coping strategies and coping skills, which usually change over time. And all these methods can prove useful, but some claim that those using problem-focused coping strategies will adjust better to life. And problem-focused coping mechanism may allow an individual greater perceived control over their problems, whereas emotional focused coping may sometimes lead to a reduction in perceived control, leading to maladaptive coping. Now, the four categories of coping strategies are adaptive, constructive, or positive technique. So the what do you mean by adaptive or positive techniques? Well, this is when the problem is solved in a rational and productive way and anxiety is reduced. And there are many other techniques under positive. So this include proactive coping, in which one reduces the stress of some difficult challenge by anticipating what it will be like and preparing for how one is going to cope with this. It's called as proactive coping. While social coping includes seeking social support from others, it's called as social coping. While meaning focused coping is which the person concentrates on deriving meaning from the stressful um, experiences. Yet another way of coping is avoiding thoughts or circumstances that causes stress. Also, the use of adequate nutrition, exercise, sleep also contribute to stress management, as do physical fitness and relaxation techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation. So, one of the most positive method people use to cope a painful situation is humor, where you feel things to the full, but you master them by turning it all into a pleasure and fun. Well, while dealing with stress, it is also important to deal with your physical and mental social well being. So, physically, one should maintain one's health and learn to relax if one finds oneself under stress. Mentally, it is important to think positive thoughts, value oneself, demonstrate good time management, plan and think ahead, and express emotions. Socially, one should communicate with people and seek new activities. So, by following these simple strategies, one will have an easier time responding to uh, stress in one's life. Now, let us see what is palliative. So, if the solution temporarily relieves the anxiety, but the problem still exists and must be dealt with again at a later time, then this is called as palliative, and this type of coping results in a positive outcomes. While maladaptive or negative techniques are unsuccessful attempts that are made to decrease the anxiety without attempting to solve problems, and coping strategies are maladaptive and anxiety remains. While dysfunctional, under maladaptive, we have a series of techniques. This include dissociation. This is the ability of the mind to separate and compartmentalize thoughts, memories, and emotions. And this is commonly seen among people with post-traumatic stress disorder. Sensitization is when a person seeks to learn about, rehearse, and anticipate fearful events in a proactive effort to prevent these events from occurring in the first place is called as sensitization. And safety behaviors are demonstrated when individuals with anxiety disorders come to rely on something or someone as a means of coping with their excessive anxiety. While anxious avoidance is when a person avoids anxiety provoking situation by all means, this is the most common type of strategy that most people use in a stressful situation. While escape is closely related to avoidance, and this technique is often demonstrated by people who experience panic attack or have phobias, and these people want to flee the situation at the very first sign of anxiety. Now let's see what is dysfunctional. So here the individual who does not attempt to reduce the anxiety or solve the problem is considered to have dysfunctional management of stress and emotional response. Now let us see some of the common adaptive coping, and this include problem solving, that is ability to identify one's problem and possible solutions to solve those problems, being assertive, that is protecting one's own right without violating others' right, having a positive self-talk about oneself, the ability of person to manage stress and anger management, and also skills in communication and maintaining interpersonal relationship skills, conflicts management, time management, and community living skills are the common adaptive coping techniques. Now, here are the strategies that temporarily decreases the effect of anxiety, and this include visualizations such as guided imagery, prayer, and meditations do help in reducing the um stress. Concentrating on breathing and striving for slow, long, deep breathing, relaxation training for decreasing tension and increasing muscle relaxation also helps in temporary reduction of stress. Engaging in yoga, adopting a healthy lifestyle such as balanced diet, good quality sleep, and exercise routine, and also healthy lifestyle habits such as avoiding smoking, alcohol, and other substances. So most people consume alcohol and smoking, especially when they are stressed. It does helps in relieving the stress temporarily. However, it creates a great havoc at the future at the later stage. Then the other things include decreasing unhealthy and self-destructive behaviors or coping, such as avoidance of issues. This is spending time and with caring, supportive, and optimistic people for social support also helps in reducing stress, reducing competing activities, engaging in personal growth activities, in increasing self-awareness, listening to music, using cognitive reconstructing to decrease a negative view of self, others, problems, and life. Replacing this with affirming positive empowering thoughts also helps in reducing stress. Now, I have come to the end of the video. So the key notes here includes coping is a conscious or unconscious strategies which is used to reduce unpleasant emotions, and coping strategies can be categorized into appraisal focus, emotional focus, and problem focus, where in the previous slides I've discussed to you that problem focus helps in a better adjustment to life. The use of effective coping skills can also often help in improving the mental and emotional well-being. And people who are able to adjust to stressful or traumatic situation, and the lasting impact of this incident may have, right, through productive coping mechanism, may be less likely to experience anxiety, depression, and other mental health concerns as a result of painful or challenging events. So with this, the reference for this video is Mary C. Townsend, Psychiatric Textbook for Nurses, also from Enhanced Government Health Topics Coping, and WebMed are some of the sites where you can refer. So with this, I've come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching patiently.